Taylor, Baylor got a win against Air Force. They finally kind of stopped turning it over, first of all, in the second half, and eventually just dominated the game. But Sawyer Robertson got the start. Jaquan Finn was in a sling. He's back to practice, according to Dave Aranda, when we discussed it with him on Monday. If you were Dave Aranda and you win the game, and, of course, the offense looked pretty good other than the turnovers, what would you do this week at Colorado at quarterback?
Yeah, I think you have to go with the hot hand. I don't think it makes a ton of sense to move on from Sawyer Robinson right now. Air Force is, and you guys saw this firsthand. I had them 2 weeks ago. I think, Paul, that may have been the game you were asking about because I had Air Force at San Jose State. Air Force is struggling on offense. They're struggling to find an identity. For Baylor fans, a big win against a team that their defense is not that bad, Air Force, but on the offensive side, that may be the worst offense that Baylor faces all season. But specific to quarterback play, Sawyer Robertson, you go with the hot hand, and you've got somebody in Jaquan Finn behind him that if you're in a sling 1 week, it probably helps you out to have at least one more week off. But again, from the outside looking in, that is, I would not rock the boat, leave him in. And this is a game going to Colorado. I think Baylor should win this game. Colorado's still struggling to run the football. And if I'm Baylor, you sell out and make Colorado one-dimensional. Dare them to run the football. You could play a light box. And I think that's going to be the key to that game is on the defensive side for Baylor.
How difficult, though, is it for Baylor, a team that has some speed and they've got some guys that are faster and stronger than a year ago, but that's where Colorado can maybe get them in a hole is they've got guys who can just make a play out of nothing in Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter and Jimmy Horn and LaShawnte Western, these guys on offense.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Their weapons that they have are on the perimeter. The issue that Colorado has is not an offensive line that's designed for run blocking. And you go back a couple weeks ago to Nebraska, and I know that that's a really good front in Nebraska, but I think it was less than 10 yards on the ground that they ended up coming out of there with. For Baylor, dare them to throw the football consistently on a down-to-down basis. And it's a little bit of bend but don't break because some of that is, like you're talking about, you don't want to get beat over the top. You don't want to give up the chunk plays. So it's a lot of you're fine with the underneath completions, rally to the football, try to create some second and third and longs and get them in spots where you can get you in predictable downs. You can tee off and get off the field because to this point, Colorado has just not proven that they are willing to run the football on early downs. So knowing that, drop 8, play coverage, a lot of soft secondary. I think that's what Colorado's going to get the rest of the season.
Do you feel like that they can change who they are at all, or are they just going to have to wing it around and let Shedeur find the weapons and just hope they don't give up a lot of points?
No, I think they are who they are, and from a personnel standpoint, it doesn't matter who they play the rest of the way this season. They are not going to be able to line up and run the by 40 times. It's just not going to happen. And so you're asking that offense, Shedeur Sanders, to throw it 40 to 50 times a game and not turn the ball over, not get sacked. And teams that will get themselves in trouble when they have the ball, you talked about turnovers a minute ago, that's the way that you get in the hole to Colorado, and it's difficult to come back. But if you play sound on the offensive side and don't turn the ball over, you're going to be in the game for the most part because, again, Colorado, I think, is going to be one-dimensional the rest of the season. And selling out to make them, dare them to run the football. That's going to be the recipe for every team that faces Colorado the rest of the season.